Have you ever felt like everything was going wrong all at once? Maybe your phone kept freezing, emails got lost in cyberspace, or misunderstandings with friends and family seemed to pop up out of nowhere. If so, you might have been experiencing the effects of Mercury retrograde. This astrological event has a reputation for causing communication and technology issues, and it's something many people dread. But here's the good news. Mercury retrograde is coming to an end on August 28, 2024. In today's video, we're going to talk about what happens when Mercury goes direct, how this change in energy can bring clarity back into your life, and why the influence of Leo will make this transition even more interesting. So, let's dive in and explore what you can expect as Mercury finally moves forward. Before we get into what happens when Mercury goes direct, let's quickly revisit what Mercury retrograde actually means. In simple terms, Mercury retrograde is an optical illusion that occurs when Mercury appears to move backward in the sky. Of course, the planet isn't really reversing its course, but from our viewpoint on Earth, it looks like it is. Astrologers believe that during this time, the areas of life that Mercury rules, such as communication, travel, and technology, tend to go haywire. This is why you might have noticed more arguments, travel delays, or tech problems during a Mercury retrograde period. People often describe Mercury retrograde as a time when everything seems to be going wrong, especially in terms of communication and plans. Maybe you've experienced it yourself. A message that was misunderstood, a project that kept getting delayed, or even something as simple as a text that didn't send. These kinds of things are typical during Mercury retrograde, and they can leave us feeling frustrated and stuck. But as with all things, this phase is temporary, and it's important to remember that once Mercury goes direct, many of these issues start to clear up. So, what exactly happens when Mercury goes direct? When Mercury turns direct, it essentially means that the planet appears to stop moving backward and starts moving forward again in the sky. Astrologically speaking, this shift brings a noticeable change in energy. The confusion and delays that were so common during the retrograde period begin to fade away. Communication starts to flow more smoothly. Technology issues resolve, and decisions that were difficult to make suddenly seem clearer. This shift is like a breath of fresh air. If you've been feeling stuck or unsure about something during the retrograde, you might find that things start to make sense again. Plans that were on hold can now move forward with more ease. Misunderstandings that caused tension can be resolved as everyone begins to think and communicate more clearly. It's a time when you can finally start to feel like you're back on track. One of the biggest benefits of Mercury going direct is the return of clarity. During retrograde, it's easy to feel like you're in a fog, unsure of what to do or how to move forward. But as Mercury moves forward, that fog lifts, and you can see things more clearly. This is the perfect time to revisit any decisions or plans that were put on hold during the retrograde and to move forward with confidence. Now that we've covered what it means for Mercury to go direct, let's talk about how this shift will be influenced by the sign of Leo. Mercury turning direct in Leo brings a unique energy to this transition. Leo is known for its bold, confident, and creative nature. It's a sign that loves to express itself and take charge, and when Mercury is in Leo, these traits can influence how we communicate and make decisions. As Mercury moves forward in Leo, you might notice that communication becomes more direct and confident. If you've been holding back or feeling unsure about speaking your mind, this is a time when you might feel more empowered to express yourself clearly and boldly. Leo's influence encourages us to be proud of our ideas and not to shy away from standing up for what we believe in. This is especially helpful after a retrograde period when communication might have been muddled or misunderstood. Leo also brings a boost of creativity and leadership. If you've been working on a creative project or thinking about taking a leadership role, this is the time to move forward with those plans. The energy of Leo can inspire you to think outside the box and to approach challenges with a fresh perspective. It's a time to take the ideas that may have been simmering during the retrograde and bring them to life with confidence. So, what can you expect in the days and weeks after Mercury retrograde ends? First, you might notice that misunderstandings or unresolved issues from the retrograde period start to clear up. This is a great time to have those conversations that might have gone wrong during the retrograde. Maybe there was a disagreement or a miscommunication that needs to be addressed. Now is the time to sort it out. With Mercury moving forward, people are more likely to be on the same page, and it's easier to reach mutual understanding. You'll also find that plans or projects that were delayed during the retrograde can now move forward with more ease. Whether it's a work project that kept hitting roadblocks or personal plans that didn't quite come together, now is the time to pick up where you left off. Mercury direct helps to remove those obstacles, making it easier to move forward and achieve your goals. Decision-making also becomes clearer after Mercury goes direct. If you've been feeling uncertain about a choice or direction, you may find that things start to make more sense. The confusion and hesitation that often accompany Mercury retrograde begin to fade, and you can make decisions with more confidence. It's a time to trust your instincts and move forward with clarity. To really make the most of this time as Mercury turns direct in Leo, there are a few things you can do. First, take some time to review what happened during the retrograde. Think about any lessons you learned or challenges you faced. This reflection can help you understand what changes you might need to make going forward. Maybe there were communication patterns that didn't serve you well, or perhaps you realized the importance of double-checking details. Use these insights to improve how you approach things now that the retrograde is over. Next, embrace the confidence and creativity that comes with Mercury in Leo. This is a great time to express yourself and share your ideas with others. If you've been sitting on a creative project or an idea, now is the time to bring it to life. Leo's energy supports bold moves and creative thinking, so don't be afraid to put yourself out there. It's also a good idea to revisit any plans or decisions that were delayed during the retrograde. Maybe there was something you wanted to do, but felt it wasn't the right time. Now that Mercury is moving forward, you can go back to those plans with a fresh perspective. Whether it's starting a new project, making a big decision, or even just catching up on tasks that were left undone, now is the time to take action. Another important tip is to communicate with confidence. With Mercury in Leo, your words can carry more power, so use this time to speak up and share your thoughts. Whether it's in your personal life or at work, this is the moment to be clear and assertive in your communication. Leo encourages you to be proud of your voice and to use it to make a positive impact. While the end of Mercury retrograde is generally a positive shift, there are a few things to keep in mind as you move forward. First, it's important to remember that the days immediately after Mercury goes direct can still carry some of that retrograde energy. This is sometimes called the shadow period, and during this time, you might still experience a few hiccups or delays. So, while it's a good time to start moving forward, it's also wise to proceed with a bit of caution. In terms of technology, you might notice that some issues don't resolve immediately. If you've been dealing with tech problems during the retrograde, give it a few days before assuming everything is back to normal. The energy shift can take a little time to fully settle, so be patient and don't rush into anything too quickly. Another thing to consider is that while Leo's energy is bold and confident, it can also be a bit overwhelming if not balanced properly. It's great to feel empowered, but it's also important to be mindful of how you're coming across to others. Make sure that your confidence doesn't turn into arrogance and that your assertiveness is balanced with kindness and understanding. Leo encourages us to be leaders, but good leadership always includes listening and empathy. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect on what the end of Mercury retrograde means. On August 28, 2024, Mercury turns direct in Leo, bringing an end to the communication and technology issues that have likely been causing frustration over the past few weeks. This is a time when clarity returns, and you can start moving forward with your plans and decisions with more confidence. Remember, this shift is an opportunity to resolve any lingering issues from the retrograde and to embrace the bold, creative energy of Leo. Use this time to express yourself, take charge of your ideas, and move forward with confidence. And as always, be patient with the transition. Sometimes it takes a few days for everything to settle into place. If you found this video helpful, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might benefit from it. And I'd love to hear from you. How has Mercury retrograde affected you? And what are you looking forward to as it ends? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and here's to a smooth and successful transition as Mercury turns direct.